I'm so curious to see how I'm going to answer this one. The questions are you ready? What are the things that don't have credibility issues? Is there anything that doesn't have a credibility need? Should there be? What does credibility wise really mean in plain English? So that's what this will be, this episode. What does credibility mean in plain English? And does everything need to be focused around and have a credibility issue? Now, I did answer something along these lines in Dear Credibility Expert episode 31, so feel free to go back to that. So here's the interesting thing. Let's start off with, what is credibility? Well, the updated definition is the quality in which you are trusted, known, and liked, or the quality in which a product or service is trusted, known, or liked. So does every product or service, does every human need to be all three, or at least trusted, known, or liked? I'm kind of thinking yes. I mean, I'd love to hear otherwise. Originally I was thinking about currency. Well, the value in which currency, regardless of what currency is, the value of a currency is based on obviously supply and demand, but also trust that the government or crypto, that it's backed by something. For a service, you need to trust that the service provider will do the right job. And what's happening these days, what's more relevant or as relevant, is that you actually know the person and understand that the person has the right intent, the intent and commitment to do the right thing. Like if you happen to know a person that every time they do a product or service and they deliver value to somebody else, they take the money and then they go out and get drunk, or they go out and spend it in ways which are not positive, and you know that, well, you may not want to do business with them. You may actually not want to do business with them because you don't want to contribute to whatever that negative habit is they have. And because there are so many opportunities out there and so much competition, you also have to like the person you're working with, particularly if it's a service that you get to interact with them more. So does everything have a credibility issue? A call to action. I will send a $5 certificate at Amazon to anyone who comes up with anything that doesn't necessarily have does electricity have to have a credibility issue? Well, in the United States, it's much more pervasive and people get upset when it goes out. There are countries, the folks that I work with in India and Philippines, where it goes out on a regular basis. There is a credibility issue of the electric companies, and I guess the question would be, if one company had much more reliable service, i.e. you could trust them to deliver the service that much more, people would pay more, but they'd want to go to them because of that level of trust. So does everything have a credibility issue? I'm really open. If you're going out to eat, you want to make sure that you trust the food will be good, or at least the food is safe. Okay, but you certainly want the food to be good. You want to know that the person who is the cook or the owner isn't doing things that are against your value systems. So if you know they don't have the intent and commitment to the right thing, if you know they're not servant leaders, what happens if you know that the restaurant owner goes out of their way to help nonprofits or help people in need? The really cool part about that, you may want to freak them because you know they have the right servant leadership and intent and commitment to do the right thing. So I'm struggling. I'm really working hard here to say, I'm looking back, what is credibility in plain English? In plain English, credibility is whether you are, we'll do it as a consumer. As a consumer, and I'm buying a product or a service, a business consumer or a regular consumer. Credibility is that when I make that purchase, that I trust that I'm going to get value for the service, that I know the company or the individual is doing the right thing, and I actually like it. I like the person, I like the company, right? If not, if there are alternatives, I will not do that. So credibility as a consumer are components of, and the most important is trust, but trust, know, and like. Now, as a purveyor, whether you're an individual service provider or you're selling a product or service or you're a large company, credibility is that your prospects and customers, same thing, that they trust that you're going to deliver on the promises you made. They know you as a company and the individual employees of the company. They may not know all of them individually, but that they know, because you've seen in the press those CEOs that do things that are bad and subsequently either take down the entire company or the board is forced to let the CEO know. We won't mention any names. One of them starts with you, 2 syllables, so you can guess that. So, the thing that's interesting is that there's both the trust and the know, and we also have to like the company, right? And so how do you become likable? Well, you don't just do things to say you do them. You do what's right. And you provide an environment for the employees who can flourish and thrive. I'd say that 5 times fast. So the answer to the question is, what is a simple component? What is credibility? It is fundamental. I believe credibility is at the foundation level of everything we do. Credibility is our human desire to be able to know that we trust, know, and like those products and services that we engage in. And when we don't, when it is not credible, we will go out of our way to tell others. So what's a simple definition? You got that. Does it pervade everywhere? Yes. And I'll be happy to send out Amazon certificates if you give me ideas, or Amazon Pay if you give me ideas as to why that's not the case. So in summary, what's a simple definition of credibility? It's the fabric, it's the foundation of everything we do, and it has to do with being trusted, being known, and being liked. And does everything have a credibility issue or opportunity? And the answer is yes. I can't think of anything that doesn't. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for the question. I kept trying to poke, but nothing popped out. So look forward to hearing from you. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback, your comments. Look forward to hearing from you. And we got a bunch of credibility questions. I'm looking forward to the next one as well. Thanks. Take care. Bye now.